you'll let us understand our culture, understand our lingo, and show you how to make the kind of connections that you will want to make to succeed with us. Okay, next slide, please. Yoo-hoo. Okay, so now's the time I'm supposed to say welcome. So welcome. I love technology. Believe me, this outreach team has become, we are exactly what Kimberly was talking about. Small bites of a very big apple, or in our case, orange, because we're in LA. Small bites. We will show you step by step how to get to that $1 million contract that Kimberly was talking about. But believe me, she was right. You don't want to start off with $1 million, because if you slip up at $1 million, the fall is very far and Metro will end up eating your lunch. But we don't want that. We want you to be able to meet ours. So everybody thinks they know us, but we brought a little something to let you know who Metro is. Roll that tape,
Okay.
J4.
Here we go. Should be coming up any minute.
It's coming. I see it. Oh, it'd be nice to hear it.
Can you not hear it?
No,
Can't hear a thing.
Okay. Let me just stop it. Kimberly, can you show me how to share my sound with you guys? I'm not sure of the environment.
usually when you share your screen, it should
allow you to share the
sound should come
sound.
well, yes.
Okay.
We'll just try it one time, and if not, I'll go to singing again. We'll go to my next slide.
All right, hold on one second.
They don't call me Diana Ross for nothing.
I think there's a button to the lower left-hand side that when you say share, it shows share your computer sound or something like that. So look for that little election.
Yes, you're right. I see it. So I'm going to share computer sound. Then I'm going to share the presentation. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Okay, so now let's go back to it. Presentation mode. Okay, I'm going to swap. Okay, great. All right, so now let's go back.
Give it another try.
There's a movement in LA.
It's a movement led by those who refuse to stand still and accept the bottlenecks of the past. It's a movement of dreamers and makers and zealous risk takers.
And from the valleys to the beaches,
west side to east side, our movement is picking up speed.
There's a movement in LA.
We are reclaiming our time by walking to the store and biking to work.
And choosing to ride together.
Our culture.
We will not honk and merge and stop and go.
Our movement defines us, and it connects us.
To opportunity, to community.
And to all the hidden gems that make this place
the best place on earth. Yes, there is a movement in LA.
We are the movement.
And our time is now.
So if we were in the room together, I'm sure you would be clapping. So thank you very much. And despite the pandemic, you guys, Metro is rolling on. I mean, our numbers are coming back, but what's important for you to know is that what our CEO, Bill Washington, says, and our executive officer, Miguel Cabral, says, hey, when the floodgates open at the end of this thing we're in, we got to have small businesses there ready to take up the mantle. So that's why we work so hard to make sure that you get the information you need to come in. Join our garden. We want to help you plant your seeds in our garden. So our goal for today is to make you understand who MetroConnect is and how we can work together. Okay, next. Let's show Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin is awesome, by the way.
Oh, he is. We love that guy.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Probably the same. Yeah, okay, it's good. Share computer sound, so it should be on.
The best way to get out of poverty is not to get a job, but to open your own business. I've experienced it, and I've had jobs, and they don't pay much, but they help get you some experience, and then you really have to go out there and open your own company, find out something you want to do, and do it. My name is Kevin Ramsey, and I'm president of Alameda Construction Services. We have a small business certification and a DBE certification. It helps you get your foot in the door with Metro and with the larger prime contractors. Since they have requirements, you are actually helping to fulfill the requirements for the project. It's like a stepping stone.
Well, Metro has had a small business enterprise and a disadvantaged business enterprise for over 20 years. It really is designed to create opportunities for contracting here at Metro. Now, who are disadvantaged businesses? They tend to be minority-owned firms, they tend to be women-owned firms who have an economic disadvantage. And they just need that extra assistance to get a job, to get the experience, and to have their business grow a little bit.
We grow. We worked on larger projects such as the Expo line and the Purple line and the Regional Connector and the Blue line, but it has also helped us work on large just commercial projects like USC, LACCD, Disneyland. It's a great opportunity to get your foot into the door to work on larger commercial projects.
Small businesses are the backbone of our economy. We have a vested interest in making sure that small businesses grow and that they're able to share in our dollars that we're spending in Los Angeles County.
I have seen this company grow over 5 years, and because of Kevin's leadership, it has actually grown more than even I expected.
Working with Metro, we had to actually gear up our labor force. Now we have about 50 employees that work for us regularly.
Oh, working there feels great. A life-changing experience.
I was unemployed. Kevin decided to bring me on, and it feels like family.
People like Kevin that are building our project, are building our rail lines, are making sure that the transit system that we promised the residents of Los Angeles County is happening. It really is Kevin that make it happen on a day-to-day basis, and their success stories become our success stories.
So you guys, we show you this picture so that you can envision yourself being in one of our Metro videos in the near future. Set it as a goal. We need to be able to show your success.
I love that.
And now I have the opportunity to introduce one of the Supremes. This is Olga Mireya Lopez, Senior Rep. Take it away, Mireya.
Thank you, Mimi. Good morning, everyone. And Kimberly, thank you very much for inviting us to participate in your event today. We're happy to be here and to have the opportunity to share with your networks the information that we have available with our agency. I see that there's a lot of familiar faces who are joining. Well, not faces, let me correct that. Familiar names. We're in
Hi,
a virtual
Olga.
world. Hey, Arna, good morning. It's so good to see you all here. Next slide, please, Jen. Why are we here today? We are here to share with you that we are here to help you open doors for your small business participation with our agency. We represent the, Amy mentioned, DEOD, and we are your friends. Next slide, please. We will have an opportunity to share with you why it's important to get a Metro certification and what other certifications we accept at Metro. There is a difference if you have an SBE certification. At Metro, we have our own, and we will speak to why Metro's SBE certification may be of benefit to you. How do you become certified? We also have a small business prime program. We had received feedback from the small business community who felt that they really didn't have a chance to bid for our major projects. And so our unit created an SB Prime to allow our small businesses to bid and become a prime contractor. I will be speaking more about that later in this presentation and what are the advantages of being a Metro SB Prime. We will also have examples of our small business programs and how to take advantage. The video that we heard just a few minutes ago from Kevin is a perfect example. Next slide, please. Our responsibilities, as I mentioned, we are your friends on the inside. For those of you who are learning about Metro for the first time, it could be, the process could feel like it's very difficult, it could be daunting, but we are your advocates. We're here to help the small business community. We serve as your system navigators as you begin the process of learning about how to connect with us, how to register with us, and of course, when you're ready to begin your process of becoming a certified vendor. Jan Davis will have an opportunity to walk us through a tutorial of our vendor portal in just a bit. In DEOD, we have the responsibility of administering the contracting opportunities. We publicize them. We oversee the small business program initiatives. We provide training and resources, and we'd love to participate at opportunities such as today here with you. Next slide, please. Under the leadership of Deborah Avila. Deborah Avila is in vendor contract management. She's our chief. But our executive director in DEOD is Miguel Cabral. That's who we all report to within our agency. We have included in this PowerPoint slide the contact info for the outreach team. If there's any questions, if you feel lost in the process as you pursue becoming a registered vendor and certified, here is how you can get a hold of us so that we can assist you in that process. Next slide, please. Let's get into why is it important to become a certified vendor. Small business certifications, it's similar to professional certifications document, and it has a special capability or status that is going to help you compete in the marketplace. It's going to assist you as a small business to increase your visibility to the prime contractors. The prime contractors are required to meet the SBE and the DBE utilization goals. And we need you as a certified firm so that you are, since you are a critical to the prime contractors who are successfully meeting these goals. It will also give you an opportunity to level the playing field by providing small business owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. And it'll provide a fair opportunity to compete for the federal and non-federally funded transportation contracts that we have available in our agency. Next slide, please. Metro accepts two types of certifications, and that is the DBE and the SBE. You may already be a DBE certification holder. We will accept that. Now, I mentioned briefly earlier that we have our own SBE. This program is unique to Metro as it mirrors the DBE program in terms of the requirements, but the SBE is a race and gender neutral. We also accept a DVBE certification that is provided by the Department of General Services. Next slide, please. The requirements for a DBE and an SBE, it's very similar. You must be an independent business, net worth less than 1.32 million, and your annual gross receipts 3-year average needs to be less than $23.98 million. The qualifying individuals needs to be in control of the management and daily business operations and be 51% ownership by one or more economically disadvantaged individuals. Next slide. The additional requirements for DBE, which is the socially disadvantaged, is what that means. The socially and economically disadvantaged individual means that any individual who's a citizen of the US or lawfully admitted permanent resident who is a member of these following groups can qualify for a DBE. These groups include the African Americans, Hispanics, Native Americans, Asian Pacific Americans, subcontinent Asian Americans, and women. Next slide, please. There are NICS codes that we require that you input when you register as a Metro vendor. If you are not sure of the NICS code that is relevant to the type of business that you do, we encourage you to visit the North American Industry Classification System. This is the standard used by the federal statistic agencies in classifying the business establishments. When you go on that website, you can just click in by codes. You can click in, you can type in a description of the type of business that you provide, and it will give you the matching number, which is what will be required to input in our system. Once you are certified with Metro, the approved NICS codes will be listed with your firm in the DBE and or Metro's SBE certified firm directory. Entities who are looking for certified firms use these databases to find the businesses that have the NICS codes that match the goods and services that they want to contract for or buy. Next slide. If you are interested in beginning, Metro is the leading and only agency that has this platform available thus far. Metro is a member of the California Unified Certification Program, and we have implemented an online, I just mentioned, we have implemented the online certification and management system. It's very easy to begin your process, and we understand that you can take your time. For example, you can go in and fill out 1 or 2 pages at a time. The system will place your application on a safe mode, and you can come back later at your leisure and you can continue on the process. And this way it will allow you to go in through every requirement to input the information that is required, or rather upload the documents that are required. This system is available on a 24-hour technical support, and we understand that it's a very easy and friendly user platform. Where do you go? You go to the certification online at metro.gov2g.com. Next slide, please. And here it is. This is where you will begin the online application process. And if you have any questions regarding the certification process, you can always contact one of our colleagues within the certification unit. They have their email and phone number, and they will respond to your inquiries regarding this process. We also encourage you.
Can I input right here that this certification online, we're the only public agency who has it online. And the thing that is most user-friendly about it is there's a tutorial. If you click into it, you don't really, you can't go to page 2 until you understand page 1, but there's a tutorial that comes along with it. Plus the certification unit to answer questions, plus the Supremes to guide you in case you get lost. So it's real important that you not wait until you see a contract that you're interested in. Mm-hmm. Do this now. And if you don't know how to use this, you know, this internet stuff, do what I do. You know, I get a 12-year-old at the grocery store and just ask them, like, baby, how do you do this? And they're always glad to help. So there's a lot of ways for you to get in, right, Mireya?
You have a question in the chat. One individual wanted to know, does this information regarding certification speak to not just construction opportunities, but wholesaler opportunities as well? Meaning if they have a supply or a consumable they'd like to engage in and provide to Metro.
The certification, it's for all. It's not just specific to construction contracting opportunities. We at Metro buy just about everything within our agency. So it is of a benefit to obtain our certification.
Sadly, we don't buy beauty products. That's unfortunate. But most everything else, from toilet paper to light bulbs to whatever you have to offer. The thing is, if you're certified with us, then the prime contractor gets additional points for using your service. So it's a two-way street, right? We know that, it's a bit of a hassle because Metro has its own certified business enterprise certification. So it's worth it so that you are able to take advantage of some other things that you're going to hear about in a minute. And sorry to keep interrupting, but
no, it's okay, Mimi.
Oh, I have a question.
Please. Yes, go ahead.
Question: are you guys involved with the supplier clearing warehouse?
We are not.
Okay.
We have our own database within
Excellent.
Metro.
And
yes.
Last question is, we are about personal and professional development. How does that work? Because everybody has widgets, and mine is about development of the individual to communicate better, to understand, to conflict resolution, those kinds of things. Will this work at the Metro?
Absolutely.
Okay.
However, the way that Metro has done within the communications unit, they have a bench. They have created a bench, and basically we still need you to become a certified vendor. And when that contracting opportunity becomes available to get more businesses included in the bench, that's when you have an opportunity to come in. And so This is, I think this is relatively new. Communications was the first department that created a bench for small businesses who are already needs that become available. They are going directly to this bench. I don't think that an opportunity at this point is available to get added to that bench, but we definitely encourage you to become a registered vendor if you haven't done so already.
Okay.
So this is the time. This is the time that you want to get familiar with Metro lingo and Metro culture. So come around. You also need to make sure that you check all of our resources, which we're going to show you about in a minute. But you know, you never know. There's all kind of contracting opportunities, and we're going to show you how to predict them or look ahead. But it's going to take some time for you to develop a relationship with us where you're familiar enough to the people who actually do the hiring for that kind of stuff.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next slide, please. This is the Metro Small Business Programs that we are going to talk about, and we're going to begin with the Small Business Prime, the SB Prime that I mentioned earlier. It was formerly known as the Set Aside. We also have the Medium-Sized Business Enterprise, and that program pretty much is when you graduate, if you will, from the SBE, DBE program, and then you move on to the next category. We have medium-sized opportunities at that point. And then we also have a contracting outreach and mentorship plan, which we call the COMP, that we are going to share with you all today. Next slide, Jen. SB Prime program. SB Prime is a groundbreaking opportunity for SBEs, small business enterprise, to compete as prime contractors. SBE will have an opportunity to compete only against other SBEs for projects that meet the threshold criteria from $3,000 to $5 million on federal and non-federal contracts. From program inception, the SB Prime program awards have increased. This is from FY15 to FY19, and now we need to include the FY20. But as of FY19, as you can see, 42.3 million have been awarded to SB Prime. This is small businesses such as yourself. So the SB Prime is definitely a great opportunity for you. $125 million have been awarded since the launch of this program. And this program was launched in the year 2014. Next slide, please. The medium-sized business enterprise, as I mentioned, when you graduate from an SBE and a DBE, we have now a program that will assist the medium-sized businesses. So a new set aside that is bridging that gap between the small businesses and large business concerns. This program applies to non-federally funded RFPs that are competitively negotiated procurements for supplies, equipment, materials, and services between $12 million and $30 million. The MSC firm is not a subsidiary of another firm, with a 3-year average of 25 million to 200 million maximum gross annual receipts. And you have to have a maximum of 200 employees. This will be validated by Metro staff. How does this program work? Metro invites the medium-sized firms to bid and propose under this program. If we receive 2 or more responses from the MSC bidders, this will trigger a set aside. If we don't if we don't receive these responses, then that's when we will open that opportunity for everyone to bid under this threshold. Next slide. And the next program that we have for our small business is the Contracting Outreach and Mentorship Plan. We call it COMP within our unit. And this is for RFPs that are $25 or more million are required to submit a plan in the architecture and engineering and A&E are exempt. So this is usually for projects that are our capital projects, our construction, major construction projects. The objective of this program is to DBE, SBE, and DVBE firms. The bidders or the proposers have a requirement under this program to provide innovative, measurable plans and an evaluation criteria. They have to inform us how to, in detail, the technical assistance strategies that they're going to impose when including our SBE and DBE firms and DVBE firms. And they have to identify at least 1 mentor and 1 protege. They have to host outreach events where the DBE and SBEs, DVBEs have to be invited, and specify the subcontracting approach that will be included in these processes and procedures. When these major primes, when they host the outreach events, they usually share that information with us in outreach. And so what we do, we include these events in our vendor portal. We strongly encourage you to visit Metro's vendor portal to learn about these opportunities that these primes are hosting. And Jan will have an opportunity to show us where in the vendor portal you can identify these opportunities.
Mireya?
Yes, ma'am.
Before we go to the next slide, I want to tell people what's the really cool thing about being a Metro SBE. Remember, we said we have our own certified program of SBE. So if you're SBE somewhere else, God bless you. And that's wonderful. But we have our own, and it's not so hard. If you've already got one, just fill out the paper and send it in. If you're a Metro SBE and there is a contract under $5 million, right, Mireya? Under $5 million, then it goes to the small business, small businesses in the NAICS code that we're looking for first. Hey, as long as there is 1 small business in that NAICS code that's qualified to do the job, you get it. If there's 3, then the 3 will compete against each other. You don't compete against the big primes at this point. If you're a Metro certified SBE in the proper NAICS code, then you have a really good chance of scoring a contract. And we like for you to start thinking of scoring contracts that are a year away so that we can teach you how to really be successful. It's the primes to do it, right, Mireya? We don't do it. We don't pick who the mentors are. But what we require is if they've got a contract over 25 million, they have to show us in detail what you as a small business will gain out of working with them as a mentor. Meaning they will improve your back office, they will improve your marketing, they will I mean, whatever it is that you and that prime agree on that needs to be improved in a measurable way, that's what the comp requires. So as you'll see a little bit more about it later in terms of how to keep up with these things. But you see, this kind of information is why we're so grateful to you, Kim, to invite us, but also why we say, hey, come in under the tent, come in under the Metro tent, and let us teach you how to tango. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next slide. This is a slide that talks about the contracts that have been awarded within the different small business programs that we have in our agency. Next slide, please. Now we're going to move into Q&A, and I did see a message that popped up that we have 10 minutes left. So Jan, I don't know if you have an opportunity to step in and talk about the vendor portal so that we can share with our community.
Absolutely, we can do that. So excuse me for a minute. I'm going to stop sharing for just a second so that I can get to our vendor portal website.
That's our Jan. That's our other Supreme. That's our Jan.
And then I'm going to share again quickly. I know we only have 10 minutes. So let me just share screen again. And I'm gonna go here. Let me know when you can see it. Okay, so we're gonna go to MetroConnect. I'm sorry, metro.net/connect. That's gonna take us to our vendor portal. You've heard us talk about that. And we're gonna quickly show you how to navigate our vendor portal. So here are our small business tools under our MetroConnect program. That was really important. You heard Olga talk about our certification. You heard Olga talk about actually she didn't talk about our online toolkit, but that is the link to connect to our online toolkit. It's going to give you much more information about becoming a partner with Metro and sharing in these opportunities. Here's a connection for our certification page. And in that connection, it's going to take you to that Go B2G connection that Olga told you about getting certified and starting your certification. Here's a connection to our 12-month look ahead. And then this connection here, register as a vendor, that is where the party really gets started, because you want, in order to certify, you have to be a vendor with Metro, a registered vendor. It doesn't take very long. It's free. Once you get registered, then in about 24 hours, you'll be contacted by our vendor registration office with your number. And that number is very important to you for future future connections. And I know I'm going very fast, but I really want to take you over to our open solicitations page. This is very important because here is where the magic happens. It's going to tell you all of the Metro opportunities that you can take advantage of. You heard Mimi say, come on and be familiar with these opportunities. You don't want to wait. You want to just kind of take a look at them, see what's happening, see what's available. In a minute, I'm going to show you where to find what's coming down the pipe. But let's just pick one very, very quickly. Here's a graffiti abatement, I'm sorry. And I'm going to open that up, and it's going to give you some vital information that you will need to know. Okay, so it's giving you a description. It's an RFP, as you can see here. It's not Small Business Prime, so anyone can bid on that. Here's the contract administrator in case you have questions. And you can call him, talk to him, email him, and ask him any information that you want to know about this particular contract. And also it's giving you information about the pre-proposal or the bid and proposal, and then where to drop off that bid. Okay, so very quickly, I'm gonna move back up to solicitations again. And here are the small business prime solicitations. Okay, you heard Olga talk about the set-asides. Well, all of those solicitations are there. And believe me, these things, they change out very quickly. So it's something that you would want to check in and look in on it every day. So now the 12-month look ahead is coming down the pipe. Okay, so as you can see, we have hundreds of millions of dollars in projects that are coming down that you can take advantage of. Yeah, here's one, a design review for potential joint development projects. Okay, so this is really good in the way of non-construction work, because then it probably has some consultant work in there and some, what's the other one? Build design build work, things like that. But anyway, the information is there. Here is the person that you would want to contact, the project manager, and it has the due dates and all of that in there. And then it gives you an idea of what is happening, what's coming down. Some other things that I want to tell you about is our events. You heard Olga talk about when prime contractors, when they have events, what we do is we add them to our vendor portal so that you can go on and find out what's happening in the world of opportunities. So there's a American Indian Chamber that's coming up, a meeting that's coming up, Asian American Architects event that's coming up. And then of course our Transportation Business Advisory Council member meeting that's coming up. Those are good to come to if you've never come to any of those. And then of course, you know, other opportunities. Okay, so that is in our calendar of events. And then of course, all of our MetroConnect opportunities are there. Here's our Lunch and Learn series that we have going on right now. Meet your DEOD team Tuesdays. Okay, so all of the various events that you have going on there. Also, a link will be provided for you to register for those events. Okay, so are there any questions? I think that's as much as we can cover in the short of time that we have, but we are certainly open for any additional questions that you may have.
Thank you. That was very good information. We know we're right about closing time, but if there's any questions, we'd definitely like to be able to address your questions at this moment. Arna, I don't know if there was any other questions in the chat. I feel like there might have been one.
I'm checking now.
Okay.
Make sure.
This is great information. I have to tell you, every time I've seen the presentation from Metro, I've learned something new, and definitely great, always great information to share. I know you guys have a monthly meeting that you do. Mimi, what's the date for, or the Supremes, I should ask.
That's right. What's the date?
That's coming up. That's November 10th. That's our How to Do Business with Metro workshop. And in that workshop for the 10th, we have scheduled to host alongside of us Dr. Giovanna Brasville. She is Vice President of Diversity.
Flatiron Construction.
For Flatiron Construction, that's right. So
Arna, we know Arna knows everybody. Yes, yes, we know. Yes, our little Giovanna has grown up. Now she's vice president. And what we do, you guys, is that we have other primes come and talk about, you know, what their upcoming opportunities are, but also talk about what they see small businesses do that impresses them or depresses them. And so we all learn together. So you're welcome. It's free. We used to serve coffee and donuts, but now you have to bring your own coffee and eat your own donuts. Sorry about that.
So in the chat, Kimberly, Miriam, they're asking for your email address, and then There's one question where actually it's a clarification. It looks like the way I'm reading it. An individual said they were having difficulty gaining the attention of the primes. Don't know in what capacity. Gloria, don't know if you want to speak, unmute yourself and speak to it directly, but it seems that the primes are already matched with subs even before they attend the pre-proposal meeting.
Right.
And yeah, so how could she get access to those primes in the matching program a little sooner?
I have some suggestions. Gloria.
Thank you, Miriam. Yes.
First of all, make note of our how to do business with Metro meetings. Come and come and come and come. We'll see that you meet different primes. But if you're interested in a contract with a prime contractor, you should set yourself a goal of maybe a year or 6 months from now. You're right. Okay. By the time you get to a pre-proposal, they got their teams pretty much picked. You're not, I mean, you know, it takes an act of Congress. You'd have to be really specialized. But girl, the thing is, we publish a year ahead the contracts that are coming up. We show you how to determine who the likely primes are going to be, you know, who's taking out the paperwork to take a look at the RFP.
Okay.
Then you go to to those primes webpage. Pick one or two and really deep dive into them. And then when you talk to the prime or contact them, you can say things like, I see that Metro's got a small business prime that's scheduled for next November. I am certified SBE and my specialty is X, and I would be of service to you. We should talk. Like that. You know, you're not a beggar, you're not looking for bread, you're bringing some real competence to them. You've certified, you know what they do. I understand that your firm is specializing in XYZ and you've already got a contract to build the bridge in San Francisco. Very interesting. That kind of stuff will be coming to Los Angeles soon. You will need somebody like my company to inform the public of what kind of changes are going to be. You feel me?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
So, but you don't have to do that by yourself, and you don't have to be scared. I mean, even if you are scared, you come on anyway. We'll show you. We'll show you. And what you're going to learn from Kimberly.
I'm not afraid.
What you're going to learn, you know, I salute you for signing up with SC because I'm an SC alum. Also, Kimberly and those are going to teach you the ins and outs of how to be successful. So we're going to work with you. They're going to work with you. You got a good chance. But child, you're right. By the time the pre-proposal, they have to have their ducks in a row already.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi. That was very good information. Were there any other questions that we can address before we close our session out? If not, I want to share with you a couple of events that we have coming up. We are currently in a session for our CBES program, the Certified Business Enterprise Supplier Training, and we are recruiting businesses for our upcoming spring cohort. If you're interested in attending that, we have a session tonight at 6:30 that you can jump into to learn more about that program. We also have our Accelerate program, which also trains businesses in contracting. We offer information sessions for those on the first and third Thursdays of the month. And don't forget that our Lunch and Learn is offered on the first and third Wednesday of the month from 11:30 to 12:30. Tell someone that you know. And if you want to learn more about our upcoming programming, you can visit us online at scvirtualbusinesscenter.com. I want to say thank you to Mimi and the Supremes for this very enlightening and educational session on doing business with Metro. I want to say thank you to my team as well for your assistance. And thank you for everyone who had the opportunity to attend today. I hope that you have learned plenty and you have an opportunity to apply for these opportunities. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kimberly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Disadvantage, so the only application required for both Metro website applications. It's .com.
It is, I don't have .com on it.
It's metro.com.